Hold on. Not as thrilling as you want it to be.
And now we're live.
Redo that?
Everybody, yeah.
Huh?
Let's
You wanna
re-record
restart?
the intro. It's live, baby. Did
It's live. We're
I don't know,
live.
you can cut it later or something.
you ever see that? What
it's
was
live.
that? It was that weird host, the old one, Bill O'Reilly, where they caught him
yeah.
live, and he was like over here just like
I'll do it
smoking
live.
cigarettes and stuff,
Yeah.
and he was like, "What are they doing?" Anyway, hi. We're not doing that. We're playing Alpha Clash today, and we're also going to talk about the comic books.
Man,
You had a big podcast with Ridge. That was incredible. I watched it last night on my television. As Piper was snoozing.
well, thank you. It was...
Quite a freaking statement piece on what's going on and who Ridge is and comic books. I mean, it makes so much sense when you think about it. And Ridge seems like a process guy, right? Because he's a strength and training coach. I feel like with the Cirque du Soleil connection and the wrestling connection, all of that, it's kind of like I'm going to continually be more efficient, be better use of my time. I'm going to get bigger gains for less time, and I'm going to make this machine function. That's why people love deck building too, right?
Yeah.
I bet Ridge is that kind of deck builder.
I definitely... So from the... 1,000 places I want to go. From the time I met Ridge... So the first time I met Ridge in person, he happened to be in Tulsa for a wrestling event. Like a collegiate wrestling event. And so we had coffee. And they'd already done the Kickstarter. We had already engaged to a certain degree. We had tried the game. And it was that meeting that convinced me that Rising Empire and Alpha Clash was worth supporting and working with, because he knew how much he didn't know. But
Like a little Socratic thing.
yeah, well, and it was just a very honest, like, and I said this in the podcast that we posted. If you haven't seen it and you're into indie card games at all, I recommend watching it.
Both of
This
them.
is what would the title of this one end up being?
When comic books make sense or something like that?
Or the answer?
Comic books are the
Comic
answer.
books are the answer.
Yeah.
Which is not common these days.
Yeah, it makes sense and it doesn't make sense at the same time. But I said this in that as well. But he is certainly, I think, a process guy, and I was convinced that come what may, he would either figure it out or die trying, whatever it was. And so it's been really cool to watch them learn and experience the industry in a certain kind of way, and get to. That was one of the things that kind of came out in this podcast, is they were ultimately at a sustainable spot. It's like you're making your game, it's out there, people are playing it, you have a certain amount of support, and you could feasibly do this indefinitely. And that, I think that's the spot a lot of games want to get to, where it's if you can pay to do the thing you wanted to do and keep doing it, especially if you're experiencing growth at any level, it's like, well, now it's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
This will eventually build into whatever. But after overcoming all those challenges, just really looking in the mirror and being like, this is not the trade-offs we made to do this were not worth what we wanted to do. And then just got really clear. I had a conversation with Ridge in December at ClashCon, an event they hosted. And the beginnings of what is now coming out were being talked about there, where it was clear they really wanted to change what they were doing and how they were doing it. And it was just a matter of time before they eventually were willing to take that leap.
Yeah, it feels like what you recognize too in that meeting in Tulsa, that fateful coffee meeting, is just that Ridge and whatever team that comes out of that was going to be the kind of people that would be willing to make that leap rather than just maintain the status quo. And I think there's a shared DNA there that was very appealing.
Yeah.
Where it's like, yeah, dude, let's go do something about this rather than just subsist. Also, speaking of subsisting, I see Derek in the chat. What's up, Derek? Good to see you. I see Van in the chat. Stream can start. What's up, Van?
Ryback in the chat.
And I see Ryback.
Jared Kelsey.
Ryback being a huge supporter of all of this. Glad to see your name in the Discord and the YouTube comments. And then I saw Frank Levy too. Or Levi. No, Frank Levi.
Question off the
Levi
top.
like the jeans.
Yeah.
We got a question at the top.
Question off the top. Alpha Clash was on my radar, but this stuff might have pushed me over the edge of jumping in. Is it fun? And what game is it comparable to?
Man.
Zach, is it fun? You're about to go play in Des Moines.
So
Is it for the money?
It's got to be fun to fly.
Is it for the fame?
it's not for the money.
So it's for the fame.
But it's funny. I know and I'm very good friends with a guy named Michael Hamilton, who is
a demigod,
one of the greatest flesh and blood TCG players of all time, easily. And I remember we had a conversation after one event. It was one of those mini events he won, and he was telling me that even for him, and he's like S tier player of games, and he's won a lot of Alpha Clash events too. If it were about the money, this is the wrong field to be in, because Fab is like the most competitive, most rewarding for competitive stuff, and the EV, as it were, the expected value, is still not actually good enough to make it make sense.
Flesh and blood.
Yeah, even flesh and
Really?
blood.
Well,
when you just do the math, actually,
yeah.
Even if you're as good as Hamilton, it's like, he won the first Worlds and won $100,000, but like, that is one person that gets that. Mm-hmm. And it is so hard to be that one person.
Like every year.
There's no way.
To make it a career.
Yeah. Like the game is 5-6 years old now and has not had a back-to-back or even a multi-time world champion. Pablo is the first one to win 2 Pro Tours after like 12 different Pro Tours. So he's obviously also very good. Anyways, so to answer the question directly, the game that's most comparable to is Magic the Gathering. There are a lot of key differences between Magic and this game. One of the most notable is that every card has in what Magic would call haste. So you'll see it in a minute when we play, but you play a card, you can immediately do something with it. So that ends up making the game feel more punchy, and it's faster, and it favors aggro over control. You don't play a thing, and then your opponent can remove it on their turn, and it's kind of a game of, can you remove stuff faster, like as I play it, basically. Yeah. So that's most notable. Is it fun?
I always heard, too, that this was very much in the vein of Dragon Ball Super. That's what a lot of old Dragon Ball Super fans said, and that's what Ridge played when he was younger. Yeah. So I assume that it has a lot of those echoes too. We haven't really done much with Dragon Ball Super.
We should probably play it at some
point.
And
we played the old. There's been 1,000 Dragon Ball games, so I don't know which one we
played. The Score 2000s one.
That was our tutorial.
That was that was the Bandai late 2000s one. We did a throwback to the Bandai one or the Score. TCG. We did a tutorial, our first video on YouTube of the Bandai 2008 one. We did never do Dragon Ball Super.
Okay.
I think it's similar in Dragon Ball Super in that, like, in your deck, you're playing Mean Streak today. You will play Mean Streak characters to the board.
Yeah.
Unlike a game like Game of Thrones, where if you play Daenerys, that is the one Daenerys that is in play.
Yes.
You're actually playing, a lot of cards that maybe have the same name, or it's like Mean Streak with a different subtitle.
Yeah.
And it's kind of representative of like moments in the fight instead of a person. It's
like your moves and stuff. Like
So like in Dragon Ball Super, you might have 3 different Gokus on the board, even though your character is Piccolo or your character is Goku. Even
that makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, and so it's that kind of vibe. In terms of fun, like that is one of the early this year, Ryzen Empire started making a lot of changes. One of them is really honing in on trying to make their events, their competitive events particularly, fun first. And they're doing a lot of cool stuff. So pull up the Somewhere in Des Moines card. This is a good example.
And you're going somewhere.
I am going somewhere in Des Moines. I'm leaving tomorrow.
You gonna have a corn dog?
I think I will. Yeah. I think I must.
Gonna have a Frank's corn dog. Frank.
So this year they started for their major events, and they have had for the last year and this year 4 of those per year, and it's basically like kind of a Pro Tour level style event in their own way. It's different than what you might expect when I say that, and then like a national championship style level. 2 of those a year, and one of those eventually will be like a world championship. Then the other 2 are more like regionals or callings. If in Fab talk, it would be like a calling level. And I think it's really important for these smaller indie games to have these kind of tentpole moments to come together and play, because a lot of people don't have access to like a daily or weekly, I'm just going to go play locally with these people. In fact, most of the people I play with, we center on these. I recently had a kid. So being able to really concentrate my time in terms of prep and testing and traveling to an event and stuff versus like a weekly league night would be really hard for me right now to actually attend. But this card is symbolic to me because this is the participation promo everyone gets for showing up to the event. It's a card that is in play for every player all weekend long at this event. And it fundamentally changes the way the game is played. And that is very fun to me because before this was revealed, my favorite character is Death. And I had built Death inherently, all the Death cards that she wants to play are in the black color. Makes sense. But I had built 5 different versions of the Death deck. One was mono black, and then it was black red, black blue, black green, black white. And I really wanted to test, like, because I really just that's the hero I was committed to playing. I played a hero in December that is not my favorite. He's fine. It's Genesis, but it's like everyone's playing this. I just didn't have a lot of time to practice or get anything together. So I was like, this time I actually want to play a hero or a character I want to play. Yeah. So I'm going to do it. Anyways, so I had these decks and we were doing some light testing early on, and they dropped this card. And it just illustrates how wild these cards are. Essentially, in a 50-card deck across any of the colors, it was anywhere from 25 to 35 of the cards that I was planning to play were essentially no longer even playable.
Wow. So
I had to completely rebuild my deck. And I've seen so many people saying publicly and privately in our testing, like, they're now playing cards that we didn't even know existed.
Yeah.
Because they weren't viable under the previous
I think that's so great.
Thing. So they're doing this with each of their events, but they're also, do you have the local store promos loaded in? Let's put creative to the test here.
What would that be called? It's somewhere
in a game store. So they're mimicking this too, even on the local level for their champion stores that are hosting these events, where they have these seasonal cards that, for the Awakening events, there's this card that's in play. An Awakening would be like a store championship or a local kind of thing. And the goal of all of this is to continually make it less sweaty and just more. It's still competitive. People are there wanting to win, but it's inherently more it's just a lighter vibe.
It's a little more innovative too, because you can't just net deck the top deck from the past month and then go try to take a tournament down. You have to actually pay attention, and then nobody's going to share with you what they're planning to bring to Des Moines, really, because they just built it a month ago. Yeah, and they don't even know if it really is.
No one even knows. And then another thing he introduced earlier this year that was really cool was the bounty system.
Yeah, I was hoping you'd get to that.
Which we have 2 decks here we're going to play.
That's the thing built for me.
They essentially identify a contender of each color that has a bounty.
It's a wild looking card.
Then that's one of the promo things. And then the player in the event that is the top performing player of that contender wins the bounty, which is a full art exclusive promo card, one of that you get for winning that bounty.
Yeah.
So there's like a mean streak card, which is who you're playing. But if you're the top mean streak player this weekend, you get that beautiful promo card that they're offering. I think there's cash on the line too, but again, I forgot about that part. But they did this the first time in Vegas a couple months ago, back in March, I think, and 40% of the field was playing a bounty contender, and these are contenders that did not see play.
Yeah.
So then all of a sudden, it's like you have this event card. So that one was somewhere in Vegas that changed what was even viable. Period. But then also you have these 5 contenders that never see play that are now 40% of the field.
And when do you know that the bounties? When do you know the bounties? Is it the same time you know the somewhere card?
Yeah.
So you're building around the idea that there's more of this thing now in the pool, and that might be a counter to the thing that I was going to run.
But presumably, this weekend is somewhere in Des Moines. A month and a half from now, they'll announce whatever the next event is, and it will include the bounties as well as the promo card that you get for going that kind of changes the game. And it's like, okay, here's the all-new environment. And, of course, new cards are coming out, too.
Yeah.
But here's an all-new environment that is completely fresh. And, I love the bounties because it lets people win that won't ever actually win.
Dude, this is exactly it. This is built. It's like, I just want to play this hero.
Yeah.
And I know that it's like a tier 2, tier 3 kind of situation. But if you can build the best version of it, then you get the prize that you feel. I mean, that's the prize that I would want.
Yeah, 100%.
You were the best at this. You're the best at Wizard. You're the best at, all these different things throughout the years.
Yeah. So all of it to say, they're doing a lot of things to try to up the fun level at these events. And I think they're just getting started. It reminds me so much of early L5R stories that I hear about. And, now with the comic book announcement this week, one is making sure that the events are prioritizing fun over strictly competitiveness. The second one is the lore plus gameplay interactions. And so in their announcement yesterday for the comics, it's like, hey, as part of the prize for doing well at these events or winning bounties or whatever it is, it's like some people from the community are going to start showing up in the comics. Also, the way these two interact with each other is going to start getting more and more tightly interwoven, which is also really cool.
Yeah, just owning that position.
Yeah, it really, really is. So, it's cool to watch them evolve into this for sure.
Here's what you're looking for. You see that? You don't see that.
I can't see anything.
You can't see those.
You can't see it?
You can't see anything.
You can't see me.
handle the
You don't
truth.
even know. You don't even know. This one.
Look at that.
And then we've also got...
Oh, nice.
this
Dude,
one.
you made this happen. Yeah, so check this out. The poster in the back is like an actual logo for a game store.
Mm-hmm.
They've got the Alpha Clash products on the shelves. Can you go back to the previous one?
Of course.
And this
Cool.
is like, again, the logo of actual store. So that was part of the Garrett podcast we put up in the announcement they made about going fully indie, where they're just starting to do these really like high care, high touch moments with the people that are actually building community and supporting this stuff. But this is a cool, you play at your store of choice and you get this promo card that you can play in the actual game moving forward. Because for the event specifically, it just starts in play. But then if you look, it's got like a cost and the icons on the right. So this is after this event, you can actually use this card in events, which is it's very cool.
Yeah, they're just wild, man.
Can you imagine like making custom? If I'm just picturing a decade ago, any publisher coming up to us and saying like, "Hey, we want to make you like the place to play this game in your area." Obviously, that's what we wanted naturally for anything we were doing. And as part of that, we want to make like custom promos that are like your local space stuff. It's very, very cool.
That is very good. I think about if like the plugged in tour for Netrunner was doing something like that.
Yeah.
Would have been sick.
Yeah.
What's crazy, Zach, is like how is it that Alpha Clash just like made the actual living card game?
Oh, it's like
this is
actually
what
alive.
we were wanting out of all the LCGs for so long. Is what living means is that every time I'm going to a bigger event, there's an interesting new thing that I need to consider, and that the meta is constantly changing. But it was like the exact opposite of that. It was slow, and it was the same decks, and it never really changed. And then Alpha Clash is coming in doing exactly what we always wanted the LCGs to do.
I remember in Thrones, there was a time where, whether it was my Dothraki deck or my Burn deck or whatever it was, I don't know, it'd be 6 to 9 months where I'm just playing the same deck.
Yeah.
And nothing had really changed.
Yeah, we get like one new character.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, it's really cool. They're evolving in that. So this week they announced the comic books.
Yeah.
And the podcast goes into it fully, but effectively tying the game and the comics together. And I didn't really fully appreciate this until I was talking to Ridge on the podcast. Like we've been talking about it, but then he said it in a way that just hit in a peculiar way for me, which is, the previous process was design a bunch of cards, write a bunch of art prompts, to get artists to make art that fits those cards, get the art back, and it's like, oh, I wanted this character to look stronger in this one, or this art style doesn't quite fit, and all this kind of
Wow,
stuff.
that's like the most extensive. That's a long process.
He said he was writing 200 art prompts per set.
Yeah, so 600 a year. You got to write 2 a day art prompts.
That's crazy.
But then they were trying to tell a story that would match up to essentially what's happening in the game. So AJ would write, and it's like, all right, well, we have this image of Clarity and Mean Streak together. So at some point in the story, they need to be together and doing this thing. Like they're fighting together.
This is impossible.
It's like crazy. So the new thing
You ready?
is, what am I ready for? What?
For this.
Oh, looks like it.
Yeah. Wait, it's an actual panel?
This is an actual panel. Yeah. So the new thing is.
Let me get. We'll look at all these. In just a
Dude,
second.
well, you can't just.
What are you doing, dude?
Oh,
What are you
my
doing?
God!
What is this? Is
Spoilers.
this the whole
All right,
thing?
so look at this. Look at this. So this is a panel from a comic book, right? And then.
Okay, and then it becomes a card. Oh, well, that's easy.
And you can see the bubbles over on the right with the comic. So they did this in draft. They did a product called Draftbox 2, which included kind of the top cards from set 1 and 2, and alt arts, which actually included images like this from the comic book. And so I remember seeing that and just being like, these look really cool.
It's so right.
Like, this makes sense. But the new process for them is write a story, create the comic that tells the story. Then you have the comic, and go back to that panel with the card if you can. I don't know how much cool you got. So you write a comic, right? And this scene comes out. And then show the card.
Bada bing.
They're like, hey, what would this do?
Mm-hmm.
And now that's top-down design, where you have a story, and now you have context too. Who's this character? What are they doing in that scene? What are they saying? Like, what is this moment? Now design a card that feels reflective of what's going on there.
Yeah.
And so what ends up happening is you release 2, 3, 4 comics. From all of that comes the art for set. The next set's set 6, and I think it's partially this. and set 7 is where it fully tilts into this is all art from the comic books.
Mm-hmm.
But now suddenly the story is literally informing what cards get created.
Yeah.
And it's all the art from the game.
Mm-hmm.
And then the game itself, you might have moments where, like in Des Moines, maybe so-and-so wins a tournament. And in the story, because the story takes place partially on Earth, you can have these moments from real life starting to bleed into what's going on in the story. And so these things start merging.
Mm-hmm.
But even just from a like design perspective, I remember talking to Eric with Sorcery. And at some point, I think we were at stream. There was a 12-hour bonanza that we were hosting at the beta launch. And he was talking about top-down design. And it was the first time I really fully appreciated what he meant when he said that.
Yeah, because he just gets the art done first.
Yeah.
It's just art. And then they make cards out of whatever that art should be.
That's right. And that's what's happening here,
Yeah.
which is we tell a story that is this comic book, and then we make cards that come from that.
Mm-hmm.
And it ends up being that you have a very unique art style. It's very clear when you look at a card, it's from a comic book.
Yeah.
I think the designs will start to get so inspired, and ultimately cards will get created that never would, because the previous iteration of this is very mechanical.
Yeah.
You're like, what do I want? What mechanics am I exploring, and what should this do on the table? Almost divorced from the story.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty crazy to think
we're
about.
top-down design people, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
I think we are.
Is that what we've
Very
always
much
liked?
art, top down.
Yeah.
Look at those little
That's what I always
lizard
liked.
men on this one, Steven. See
Oh, yeah. I hope we get the lizards.
I assume we will.
I'll play Little
Yeah.
Lizard Man.
So the first comics coming out, we have a
This seems like
subscription.
spoiler heavy, y'all.
You can sign up. I don't think any of this has been shown publicly.
I asked Zach like 4 times to clear this.
Oh, yeah, no, it's clear. If they gave it to us, it's their fault. Right? That's how that works. So this is like a clarity in the mainland story that's been told so far is thousands of years old. And so I don't know if she's going back in time or this is just her prequel story.
Isn't she hundreds of thousands of years old?
Maybe. We don't know.
Ridge said 100,000 years on the podcast
I could see that.
because I'm listening.
You're listening.
Hey, I was... those
Back when
podcasts...
she was the harbinger of death was 100,000 years in the past.
That checks out.
And then his Earth
So-
is 0.
A little behind the scenes on those podcasts. That was one of the hardest, like most difficult pieces of content to be a part of.
Great.
Because I was being so unnatural
really?
in terms of, well,
That
just
didn't come across, really.
oh, that's good. The editing team's good. It's mostly just that even like right now, it's very unscripted. I'm just paying attention to you and asking questions in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in those, I was being way more intentional with the conversation.
Yeah.
And so there are things that I think I normally would pick up on or catch that I wasn't catching because I was, anyways, it was
you're trying to take
it was a
notes,
really,
too.
really mental thing. Anyways, so we have a subscription. You can sign up to get these. Each charge through the subscription, which is going to start later this year, you get a comic book and you get a play set of promo cards. So you already showed the promo card that you'll get for the first comic. These alt-art promo cards are from future sets.
Yeah.
So because they're from the same comic that the set art will be from, you can put that together. And they're going to start releasing these comics on like a routine basis, and that's where all the art's going to come from, and it's going to bleed into the story and vice versa. And that is what is beginning. It's super cool to have and go through the process. So if you haven't seen the podcast, check that out. Regardless of whether or not you're ever going to play this game, it's a podcast worth listening to, and I love seeing Ryback's comment about signing up for the sub even though he doesn't play.
I have also signed up for the sub even though I don't play. I love comic books.
I
turns
suspect
out.
there might be some people in this industry that also enjoy reading comics.
I like the comics.
I'm going to guess
It
the
is
Venn
traditionally a little
diagram
cross-pollinated.
is a little across each other.
So hopefully the comic's great, you know?
Yeah, well, before moving
guess
on, look
we'll
at this.
find out.
Look at this, Steven. This is guy's Entropy. You see him?
I remember Ridge talking about Entropy.
That's Entropy. Look at that character
I actually
design.
can't see anything on the screen right now, but I did see
I see your
Entropy.
face. I see your
Yeah,
face.
I did
Hold
see
on,
Entropy.
hold on.
This guy's Entropy. is
I'm
like,
Entropy.
"Hey." Yeah, it's this extremely cool design, really.
see
I dig the style of that, where it is kind of weirdly see-through and energetic and creepy, and it's almost like Nightmare Before Christmassy.
Yeah.
It's just kind of a weird, unsettling nature to the form.
There's a discomfort that is felt when you see him, which is cool.
Yeah,
It's really cool. I described him on the podcast as a astral Joker. Is how he reads to me. This picture doesn't feel as much that way, but just a little insane.
I kind of feel that Ridge was like, no, it's not like the Joker. This is not mainstream stuff, Zach. This is like totally unique.
Yeah, I get it.
Interesting.
It's just
it's not a derivative off of the mainstream.
It's the language we have as a frame of reference. It's not that at all.
Yeah.
But it's just the feeling I had is that same unease when you see like Heath Ledger's Joker come on screen for the first time. You're just a little uncomfortable.
It's like, ooh,
anything could happen.
Capable of? Yeah.
Yeah. Like if your character is on screen or on the page with this, if your favorite character is on the same page as him, your character could die.
Yeah.
That's real. In the same way that, again, when Joker's on screen, anything is possible here.
Watch out. Snappy dresser, thank you, LSAO. That's true. Very snappy dresser. Yeah, as Entropy often does.
Dressing snappily.
I've got a mean streak deck here that is apparently not that great, but is trying to do something very specific, and it's tailored to the Somewhere in Des Moines event, and it's a good one that Zach would like to test against.
Yeah, because this mean streak, which his subtitle is Ready to Brawl.
Yeah.
And Steven, it's important for me to tell you that Zach is 0-2 against me in Alpha Clash. So
Do you want to pilot it?
no.
I'll go around the cameras, dude.
Tag
There.
other woolies in.
Yeah, I'm not a good Alpha Clash player. I will say that.
Yeah, me neither. So mean streak, Ready to Brawl. Whoa. I saw this is just, I don't know, things are
good?
weird going on the screen. Like a window started coming across.
You're fine. You're fine. It's fine.
He is one of the bounty contenders.
Yeah.
And
Early card.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't get a lot of love.
And now the idea is like Ridge was talking about how he wanted to do super speed in a much more interesting way. And so the idea here is that mean streak is super fast, of course.
Yep.
Speedster is what they're called, I guess. That's the template. But so fast that they creates basically these physical representations of the. You imagine somebody running really fast in like a Pain or an anime or something, and they have those lines behind them, right? So mean streak is doing that, but the lines behind him are actually like physical. They've come to physical reality, and then he can manipulate them to do stuff, which is extremely cool. I mean, that is a really unusual way to build this kind of a character.
Yeah.
So that's when I have streak counters. That's what those are. You're moving really fast, and it's basically kind of tearing reality a little bit and creating these speed lines that you're then using to manipulate other things in the world.
And they definitely what was that Robin Williams movie? Was it called Flubber?
Yeah. What's that, a Robin Williams movie? But there was a movie called Flubber, and it has a lot to do with this. Yeah.
Way
to go, Zach.
These...
Took another one of Ridge's favorite heroes down. Hey, just like Flubber. Wait just a second. I've seen this one before.
I think the inspiration was the lines or the speed. He talked about some zebra in a kid's show that his kid
on
watched.
Leapfrog. He was watching with his son.
Zippy Zebra.
Zippy Zebra.
Zippy Zebra.
But these are one of the things you don't know in the story.
You don't know personally, Steve.
Me?
Well, when you're reading it, it's like unreliable narrator thing, where it's like, is Mean Streak crazy or not?
Oh yeah.
Like, because he basically engages with these and talks to them, and they have names and personality and that kind of thing, and you can't quite tell if what's real, if that makes sense. But they have different ones. He has a couple of them are really friendly with Haven, but they're presented, at least from his viewpoint, as like almost sentient.
Nice.
I don't know who they are.
Okay. Well, I guess maybe we'll never know.
You know.
Maybe we'll never know.
They're his streaks. Anyways, what does he do? Can you give us the TLDR?
Basically, once per turn, I can put a streak counter or any number of streak counters from a card I control to another Clash card I control. Clash card is really just all the cards except for Clash Grounds and... Is Accessory a Clash card?
Nope.
No, it's not.
No. Clash Grounds, Accessories, Clash Buffs, Quick Action cards. It's more like events,
it's also not on the table, yeah. So the majority of the cards on the table, I can put move the streak counters around during my primary phase. And then anything with a streak counter on it has defeat, draw a card. So basically, whenever it dies, I get a card. So the idea here, as I understand it, and all these early contenders, and I guess most contenders, introduce card draw to their own game plan in different kinds of ways. And so the way that Mean Streak draws cards, as far as I can tell, is make sure you have streak counters on things, and then trade favorably with your opponent's stuff, so that they lose their card from the board, you lose your card from the board, but then you also gain a card.
Yep.
Or set it up to where you'd be a good obstructor, you can block, make a favorable exchange, and still get a card out of the deal.
Yeah.
So you should have card advantage if you do that well.
Yeah. decks that don't have any card advantage built in, by turn 5 or 6 normally are sort of just out of cards.
Yeah,
and
the
top decking.
Sorcerer's Dilemma.
But part of the game is just however you're going to solve the equation of how am I going to make sure that when we get to 6 or 7 resources, I actually have a hand of cards to play with.
Yeah.
And I keep having a hand. And if you can create an engine like with him, if you can keep getting street counters down, you shouldn't ever be able to not have cards and not have a board.
Yeah.
Like if they clear the board and you don't have cards in your hand, that's a bad spot to be in.
That's always, I've heard in card games, it's generally bad. And then at 10 health or less, Clash cards with 1 or more street counters get +1/+1 and super speed, which is first strike.
That's really powerful.
So that's
real good.
very strong. I figure I might just take some damage early and get it going.
It is amazing how often in this game I play, and that second ability doesn't actually, not for this particular character, but it's like you go from 15 to death. Mm-hmm. Everyone knows, right? Like I don't want to get you to 9.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay.
And
oh, go ahead, Steven.
I was gonna say what we're trying to do here with the setup of the deck. This is what's colloquially known as a ramp deck, which means it's trying to play out it's going to seed early tempo in order to play a lot of resources quickly. And then it's going to start playing a lot of high-cost, high-value cards that are going to overcome the deficit that you've run in the early game. So hopefully, I will ramp. I will be able to block some early stuff, trade with counters, and then play like a board wipe like Shocking Revelation.
Mm-hmm.
And then start ramping into my 6 cost, 7 costs, such as this Mean Streak Finishing Blow, which you might expect by the name.
He's so good.
Is the way you want to end the game. The finishing blow, if you will. And that card is great for a number of reasons. The main one being when you attack, you can either draw a card or you can have your opponent discard a card, so you can start to lock out your opponent from having any options, which is quite good.
Yeah, I've seen that happen. It's not pleasant.
Now, you can always draw and then play what you draw in turn.
Yeah.
You get 1 card a turn, basically.
But that is...
Guaranteed.
So a lot of times, you'll get him on the table and I have like 2 cards or 3 cards. And if I don't get him off the table immediately, I'm going to be in a top deck situation.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just takes 1 top deck being a 2 cost that doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
And if you have card advantage with your ability, you're going to run over me.
I also like that it's just like right out there. One of the key cards is called Check Out My Ramp.
It's very clever.
It's a ramp deck.
Yeah. Also, just for context too, a lot of the lower cost blue cards that get street counters are interplay effects. And so somewhere in Des Moines, which we'll both have in play, and we'll just use, I don't have the card yet, so we'll use this face down, and you can, exhaust it to exhaust it. Prevents those early interplay effects from actually happening. Mm-hmm. So instead of playing them, you're just playing things like that ramp card to get to the higher counts earlier, so that you can get the street counters going.
Yeah.
Before you get going, Zach, sorry. There are 2 things that I want to bring to your attention. First of all, Garrett was here for a moment.
Hi, Garrett.
Hey, Garrett.
And he said he has to go back. He says he's been on calls onboarding new champion stores all morning.
That's good.
Very good. I think
Smash that like
it's been
button.
going real well for him.
Smash that call button.
And that's everything. Yes. And there's a couple of people down here, Big Hank, and Sita as well, that says that they can't find anybody that wants to stock the product. But now they have the champion store. Now they have the buyback program. Maybe worth approaching those people again.
It's going better.
And then lastly, Sita has a really, really important question. It's got a ton of Moxy cards.
Gents, I just have a metric load of Moxy cards and a lack of storage receptacle to hold these cards. Can you help?
I had to rent a shipping container out at my place to hold a bunch of stuff as
Cards?
the house is getting built.
All your cards?
I suppose you could put cards in there. So that's one option.
I'm looking. Do we have anything?
Maybe a more practical option. I can't. The problem is I can't carry that shipping
Like
container
a
to an event
box
or...
for all your bulk.
Yeah.
Like a bulk of cards.
A bulker box?
to hold.
A bulkity box. How about a bulk box?
That's a more pleasing name.
Do we actually have one that's grabbable? Or is it full of...
I
it's
think
got stuff
everything
on it.
we got is full
It's
of
back
bulk.
here. All our bulk is in the bulk
You
boxes.
can put a lamp on it too.
You can.
Holds
You
a
can
lamp.
stand on it.
Holds a human being.
Holds a large man.
Mm-hmm.
Do you always only have the one bulb on back there?
No.
It's burnt out?
Well, China decided to give us one that has a random turn-on pod pattern.
I think the bulb's dead. Random turn-on pattern, huh?
Yeah.
Does that mean Morse code?
That's a very technical term for it. You wouldn't understand.
This is a story that is not worth telling, but when we first got it, it was doing that. And then we bought a new base. And then it worked. As soon as we bought a new base, we brought the new base in. Before we changed it out, the old base started working again. That we threatened it, I think. And now it started messing up again.
So we have an actual
base.
Ah.
Yeah. We just need to switch them out.
Problem basically solved.
But like, if it fixed itself once,
It's probably the block box that did it.
Maybe it can fix itself again.
that's what I'm
You
thinking.
just never know.
Lightning strike twice.
Yeah.
Like all great relationships.
Meanwhile, I'm playing Moxy Vanguard of Earth.
Great.
This
Almost
is
25 health. Weak.
25 health, 1 attack, 0 defense. This is the second version of Moxy. The first one was actually in the first set. This is a red version. The previous one was black. And I have at 25, which is what I start the game with. Once per turn, when an Alpha Hunter card I control is defeated, I create a red badge weapon accessory token. So it's just a badge token, which has attached for 1 red. Attached class card gets +1 defense and can attach 1 additional non-token weapon.
Wow. Okay. Not nearly as straightforward as me.
Yeah, so it's just a token that you can pay 1 to attach and get +1 defense.
Cool.
That's all that's happening. At 15, my Alpha Hunter Clash cards with 2 or more weapons attached get Fortitude, which means their attack and defense can't be reduced by effects.
Okay.
My Alpha Hunter cards with a badge also get +1 attack. Okay. So at 15 and under, my badges are +1/+1.
What did you say your name was again?
Moxy Vanguard of Earth.
Vanguard.
So how are you gonna win?
So
Is this a real deck? Are you thinking about running this?
it is
Death.
It is a real deck. It is not the deck I'm going to be playing. I would have played Death today. I don't really care, but that's kind of boring because Death. Boring from create content about it. Death is a hero or a contender that was playable before, and so it's not.
These are the bounties.
It's different. Death is one of the bounties, actually.
No.
But it's not as cool to me as seeing like these are contenders that like didn't get played.
Didn't make sense.
And now both the Clash Ground and
not.
the Clash Ground definitely helps them. I think get more on parity because not because it makes them better or worse actually, but it just brings down the power level of some of the things that were problematic for them. Anywho, so the main card in my deck actually is Moxy's Heavy Power Armor, which is from the first set. 4 cost, 2 black out of that 4, but then it has a 3 black attached cost, so 7 to get this attached to something. But it gives +4/+4 and flight. Mm-hmm. And then when it enters play, I actually take a damage. And it says if you control 3 or more Alpha Hunter cards, this card costs 1 less to attach. This card can only be attached to an Alpha Hunter Clash card. So I have that, but then I have a combo in Suit Up, 3 cost, 2 black threshold. I can put a 1 weapon accessory from my hand into my accessory zone for free. Then I can attach a weapon to my accessory zone to an Alpha Hunter card I control without paying that attach cost and draw a card.
Oh, you got a little sneak attack.
So this lets me play this for free, attach it for free, and draw a card.
Classic sneak attack.
Yeah.
Gandalf coming in.
So the crazy thing about the attachments is that I could have it attached to a Clash card. Attack has flight +4/+4, and then I can pay 3, move it to a different thing, and do it again. So what I really want to do is get to that like 6 resource moment. Pay 3 to play it for free, swing. Pay 3 to move it, swing. Mm-hmm. Then next turn, have 6 again and do it twice. And hopefully you don't have a way to shut that down.
Yeah. Okay. Good. These are good. Yeah. So watch out.
Yeah.
Suit's coming.
Yeah. Just one thing I like about this pairing is that we both essentially want to get to the end game and are not overly rushing in the early game. So we should actually both have a chance to do the things that we're trying to do.
Is this just mono blue?
Yep.
I think it is. Okay, that makes the resources easier, doesn't it?
Yeah. It was a good choice. Okay, so you draw 8.
And I'm not good at this game.
Yeah.
I'll probably never be good at this game.
It's okay.
It's okay to not be good. Your brain, there are certain games your brain goes for.
It just doesn't.
And there are other games where you're like, how does this work again? Mm-hmm. They strike. They don't have summon insignia? What changes the value? The value props.
Okay. So one thing I've learned, let me read, is a lot of times the mulligan strategy here is you're looking for very particular cards. So in your case, you're probably mulligan, especially with mono blue, anything that's not a ramp card.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have to, for your deck to really function, you've got to see at least 1 or 2 ramp cards probably.
Okay.
So in the same way, mine's the armor, and I don't have the armor in my hands. I will probably just 100% lose if I don't get that Moxy power armor. So I'm sending them all back, shuffling, and drawing 8.
Okay. Like that. Okay. I'm going to keep all of those, you know. And this is a reshuffle mulligan? Bummer.
Yeah. Come on, Ridge and Garrett.
So you put them back in,
Shuffle
reshuffle, and draw them back out.
Reshuffle and draw the same cards again. That's how it always goes for me.
Okay, good.
That's how Arkham is, too, isn't it? No, Arkham's set aside. No? I don't know. Can we just choose one? Universal
Arkham
card
is set
game
aside.
mulligan? Okay.
I'm pretty sure Arkham was the first one where it's like, yeah, this is just how it should go.
Yeah.
You know, it would be a good piece of short content for you guys to do a quiz for each of the games to see if you knew their mulligan.
And then we slap each other in the face if we get it wrong.
There you go.
Right?
Yeah.
Sounds about as fun.
That's short. There goes the internet.
How about instead of slapping, we just have like a cake for each game?
No, it must be slapping.
You can hit it with a fish.
A fish is also acceptable, actually.
Slap him with a fish. Doesn't have to be
Can
your
we get a
hand.
very like soft fish?
Man, I could never hear that again.
Nice Swedish fish.
I need a soft fish.
Like a squid.
Yeah.
Like a
Yeah.
squid.
You can squid them.
Yeah.
Oh.
Squid Games.
Oh.
Yeah, there we go. I mean, yeah, though.
Writes itself.
It does. Thank you.
Oh, hot dog.
Okay, if you put a streak on here and then draw a card. Yeah, okay, we don't need that.
I will. I'll go first. We should have decided that, but
That sounds like you just did.
I'm kind of pulling out the things that I don't... How important do you think these Clash grounds are? Pretty good there.
you can only ever have one in play.
Yeah.
So I don't know how many in your deck or what it is even doing. That's usually a later. It's later in the game.
It does seem like a lid. I'm trying to figure out what my resources are going to be in them.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get any of the cards that say ramp on them. But I do have some ramp B cards. Right? Seems good.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Ramp E? What's Ramp E?
Ramp E.
Rampish?
They're rampy. Yeah.
All right. So first player on the first turn doesn't draw a card, so I won't. Then I will. Let's make sure. Okay.
And you really don't want to be off curve in this one. Right? Like, you don't want to play a 2-cost on the third turn. It's like, it's weak.
I mean, it's kind of like sorcery in that playing a resource every turn for the first 6 to 7 turns is worth doing, but you can definitely be off curve hypothetically, because like it's more impactful, especially with your deck. What's happening once you have 6 is more important than playing a 3 for the sake of using your 3 resources.
Understood. Okay.
All right, I'm gonna play a red resource and then pass to you.
Okay. Do I draw?
You do. Draw a card, then you play a resource.
I'm going to play this as a resource.
Okay.
And I'm going to pass to you.
Okay. I'll draw. Where were you? I see. Oh, let's play another red resource. And then I'm going to pay 2 for a weapon system. Costs 2, and it has to be 2 reds. This is a contender weapon. So it has an attached cost of 1 red, and then I can attach it to Moxy.
Got it.
Once per turn during my primary phase, you may engage if it's attached. Attach contender. If you do, choose 1. Deal a damage to a clash card or draw a card. Can only be attached to an alpha on a contender. So once it's attached,
you just get a card every turn from now on?
If this is attached, yeah, and you don't have a way to get rid of it, that would be.
And you got exhaust.
Yeah.
The contender?
Yeah.
Contender's not doing anything anyway.
I could attack, you know.
Might go?
Yeah.
Draw.
Nick Knox saying death is very powerful in Progenitor's Gambit 2025. Nick, if you had to predict what colors the top performing death deck is going to be playing, what would you say? Besides black.
Resource.
Yep.
Mean streak. Helping out.
Yep.
Trigger obstruct. Put a streak counter on target clash card you control.
All right. Don't attack. That's what you just told me.
Yeah.
Are you going to do anything with it?
Oh, right.
He can technically attack.
But then you can technically attack me back.
That's right.
I'm here to obstruct and ramp, baby. I'm not attacking.
He's got it. Mine.
Yeah.
Draw, ready resources.
This is going to get to a board state that's going to be insane because you're going to have all these attachments and stuff, and we're both just not clearing the board early, and oh my gosh.
I mean, I am on red, so Here Comes the Boom is not unlikely.
So that would make my trigger obstruct street counter stuff not very good.
If I Here Comes the Boom, you just go away. But if you had a street counter when that happened, you would draw.
That'd be
a card.
cool. I just need to obstruct something. Can you make that happen, please?
I'm definitely not doing that.
Can I obstruct myself?
I'm going to attach this here. That's a good card. I'm glad we're doing this. I haven't seen that card. I'll exhaust here to draw a card.
That's kind of a problem. You just sorcered me. What is this? Why does every game do this? Are you serious? This is seriously how it works. My gosh.
Man, it's a true joy playing card games against you. Like, if I was playing as Hamilton, he would say nothing. And then he would just beat me.
Yeah, he doesn't know why he's playing. It's because he doesn't understand. He's not a philosopher, see?
Yeah. And it's just, you give me hilarious moments to react to.
Why else are we doing it? All this colorful cardboard.
I will pass to you.
I guess he's doing it just to prove that he's
The goat
a genius.
Yeah.
Hamilton just plays where the cards aren't.
That's right. Right
The
through.
Taoism joke.
It's
guys.
like, I was, I got it. I see. It's like Eric Wainwright. One of my, just love Eric. We playing Fab for a long time. And at some point, we were in the middle of playing. He's like, huh. And he finally looked at the art of a card. Like 2 years in, a card he was using a lot. And it's like, we different. We different, man. I included this card over here. It's a little worse than what I should have done, but I like the art better. So I went with that. What up, Brian Roper?
If I have trigger enter on multiple things, you can only cancel one of those. Is that right? That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't have a bounty.
Oh.
I know what you'd do. You would cancel that one.
I need a portal. Where's my portal? I'm gonna grab a portal.
Good job not getting hit.
I've learned.
Yeah.
Ryan Roper
Although,
out there.
if you want one of those 20K shorts, maybe you ought to start veering for the light. Yeah.
See, there's no reason to. You need to. You need to attack, buddy.
Not doing it.
Well, that's annoying.
I think it's like I patched the card in.
Okay. This seems important to play. And this seems kind of important, and this seems kind of important. I'm gonna get some damage in, buddy. See you later.
I'm just fishing over here. 1 second.
You're fishing?
He's looking at your hand.
He's totally looking at my hand, isn't he? He's just staring at my hand.
That old trick. Oh yeah, let me just come over here and look for supplies right behind you.
Definitely supplies.
Like I feel like you're gonna. I should,
This is the closed portal.
I gotta play smart.
Ooh, that's a fancy portal.
Gotta play smart.
The equilibrium portal.
I'm gonna play a resource, and I guess we'll see. How much does here comes the? Is that 4?
Mm-hmm.
Does 4 to everything?
5. Deal 5 damage to all clash.
I mean,
it looks like this.
There's no reason to play anything, is there?
I mean,
damage? 1 damage?
Like,
you like 1 damage?
If what I do with my 4-cost turn is just Here Comes the Boom, it's kind of underwhelming with my board state.
Yeah.
It's fine.
All right, let's just swing here for 1.
Yeah.
And then I'll play another one.
Here he comes.
I'm helping out.
Definitely.
Over to you.
Let's draw a card. That's intriguing.
The evolution of the art style is just fascinating to me.
It is fascinating.
Just like And they talked about it in the interview.
I mean, I guess
I should pull up chat.
let's put this down. Of course, then I'll exhaust here and draw a card.
I don't even know why. You know?
It's just to put you on tilt, really. That's why I put it in his deck.
Definitely.
He's playing the mental game.
I'm gonna play a 3-cost Moxy Enraged.
Did I have flying?
Nope, it's a 2/3. Can have more than one. Can attach more than one weapon. Trigger attack if this card has 3 or more weapons attached. I can draw a card. When it deals clash damage to a contender, I can reduce the attached cost of my next weapon by 1. So it's just a 2/3.
Got it.
Don't worry about it.
Got it. Got it. My go. Let's play this late game mean streak that I don't need because it's early game.
Not been a lot of ramping.
What do you mean? I mean,
just make an observation. It's not a assessment of your character or anything.
so you can't kill me if I attack. That's correct.
With what is on the board and the way it's on the board, no.
I mean, you want to clash buff and mean streak helping out, you go for it, buddy. I will swing at you for 1.
Let me read this. Okay. Take 1.
And then, well, I mean, yeah. Then I'll pay 4 for Genesis changing plans and swing for 4.
Yeah, he good.
If I'm defeated, I put it into my resource and engaged.
It's so good.
That's a ramp card.
That is a ramp card. That's a rampish card.
But
it's
that was the
It's
rampish
100%
cards. Yeah, those are rampish.
You can imagine how it goes. Where like if you clear a board with something, or I clear a board, and you have 2 or 3 street counters on a card or 2 like that. It's like you suddenly have 2 or 3 more resources and 2 or 3 extra cards, and like
I've yet to find a way to have street counters, but I think we'll get there. We'll find it.
yeah.
Did you attack with Genesis?
We're supposed to ramp. Yeah, I'm gonna attack
good,
it with
good,
it.
good.
Yeah.
I'll take 4.
Okay, there.
We got it. We got in there.
Got it.
Pass.
Is that? Can you answer that one? I think you were looking at it in chat.
What is the best way to get into this game now? Cyanide Scorpion. Best way to get in this game.
We still got the 2-player bundle.
Ooh.
Or just buy some boxes.
The Clash bundle.
Dang, hold on.
That's
Let me put the link to that.
I
Just
think
go to the store. Go to Alpha Clash.
yeah.
There's all sorts of stuff.
They've said they're working on kind of Clash kit replacement entry point product, and so that'll probably be the answer at some point. But until then, realistically, I would probably just buy one of 2 things. Depends on your goal. If you're just playing like at the kitchen table, I would just buy a box of like Equilibrium and open up 8 packs and build a deck and play those against each other just to like learn the game. Or buy a Clash. You can learn the rules by buying the Clash kit. Any of them is fine. We have a bundle with some packs and stuff from the early days. They're also doing the PvE thing later this year. That'd be a good one. But past that, I think at the moment the most effective way is just to buy cards you want for a deck you want. I think you can basically get you can look at any deck list that anyone's posted and get 95% of those cards for $20 or something like that. All the comment. It's a normal TCG situation. All right. Play resource. Have I drawn a card? I've not drawn a card.
Hey, Macarena.
What is that?
Do you want to answer Miranda's question?
Are we gonna be a booster sale again? I don't know. Honestly, I have no idea. Like the trilogy bundle that we did.
Ever is a long time. I don't think there will be another original trilogy bundle sale. But
That's a good deal.
it was,
crazy.
was a good deal. This is hard. Let's put. No, I need to put that down.
And I can't attack your things directly unless they're tapped.
That's right.
Right.
Or unless you have. There's a keyword that lets you do
Yeah.
that. Close combat, I think, is the keyword. Play another resource. I'll take after you and stack my light color.
I mean, I played spoils, right?
Yeah, you did.
You did too. We're like in the end game, right? We're like here, 6-7 resources. It's like
This is now where the game is afoot, fully.
I'm winning.
I will tap to draw. Powerful, yeah. Okay. We are going to. Is that right? I think it's where we're at, man.
Do the
I'm gonna
equipment dance.
suit up. So spend 2 blacks and 1 red. Put in a weapon from my hand in my accessory zone. Let's go Moxy's heavy power armor. I can attach a weapon in my accessory zone to a alpha hunter without paying its cost. So I'll do that.
Boom.
Then it lets me draw a card somehow.
Cool. Love that.
Love that for me.
Love that.
Okay, and then I've got 2 resources open.
And yeah, flying now.
4/4 plus 4/4 and flying.
Is there a trigger enter that I need to cancel?
Oh no, actually, I take a damage. You can cancel it.
I would let, but can you?
I can't. I can do it on a card you're playing.
Okay.
Good catch. Good
Yeah,
good,
thanks. I'm
good
here
eye.
for you.
Good
I'm
eye.
here for you. I see things to
All
cancel
right.
and canceling.
Um,
I'm just swinging to this bad boy.
I don't think that's the play. I will just swing at your face for 6 with flight.
Can I obstruct flight even if I can't block it?
You cannot, unless you had flight or
Interception.
interception.
Okay, so I'm gonna take 6.
That's right, Ian. Take 6. Yep. And then I will pass with a black and a red open.
And you got how much health over there?
7.
So what if I just kill that?
It's basically plus 4/4. So if you defeat it, this would go away and this would go back to my accessory.
That
zone.
goes back there, yeah.
Yeah, and then I have to pay 3 blacks to attach it every time I want it.
That seems like what I need to be doing. Let's draw. There's a ramp card.
He finally got the ramp. Not wrong to play it at the moment.
Can I attack into flight?
If I'm tapped, yeah, for sure. That'd be really obnoxious if not.
Yeah. And this comes back in engage, so I can't use it that turn, yeah. Well, let's play a card. Okay. I need to be able to obstruct your stuff. I don't know. It's not going like you told me it was going to go. I have all the stuff out and you have nothing. That's not what's supposed to happen. I can't shockingly revel.
Revelation, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it is -2 right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I
you
could play
actually,
it.
you can.
I mean, I could throw everything into you.
Yeah, you just toss that into me, toss that into me, toss that into me.
And then you have 1 health left.
Damage goes away at the start of every clash.
Right.
But if you play shocking, then you actually get rid of me automatically. And then you get to look at my hand and get rid of the best card in my deck.
Yeah.
So whether or not that's worth it or not,
Like right now, it just doesn't. I don't know.
it's -2, so you play resource. You haven't played a resource this turn, right?
I haven't played a resource yet, no.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna have to go to get some corn dogs.
It feels too late for check out my ramp. I'm assuming. Oh wait, they disappear. Hold on, that changes everything. It doesn't stack turn over turn. Okay, so I would have to find a way to do 7 all at once.
That was actually something that was really confusing earlier on. I'm
It's
glad
not
that
happening.
they streamlined.
Yeah.
Because they had non-clash damage stuck. So you played like a Here Comes the Boom, it would stick the whole turn.
Mm-hmm.
But then they had clash damage not sticking. And now it's not. It's like every time an attack starts, damage is cleared.
Okay, and we said how much does Shocking Revelation cost? 6 minus how much?
2.
So it's 4. Okay. Cool. I don't think it's time to ramp. Now the other thing here we have to keep in mind. I could just do 9 to you. That also seems fine.
That is very good, yeah. Because then I'm at 9.
And so then just kind of you got to figure that out. But you could conceivably kill me next turn. Is that accurate?
Is everything going to be tapped?
It would be tapped to do 9.
Let me think about the worst thing. You know I can do 6. Which then puts you at 18. So it's tough because even if I play a resource, I'm at 6 resources. So to attach this somewhere else costs me 3. But right now I have nothing to attach it to. So maybe I could swing twice with it. I think my high end right now is probably like 12 to 14 damage.
Okay, let's assume that's true. We're going to play.
Oh, Garrett, does that mean that Frank's corn dogs are not available in Des Moines this weekend? How devastating! Just set us up to go right off the cliff. What am I supposed to do? When is the Iowa State Fair?
Usually in the fall.
Just state fairs in general.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you know about the Iowa State Fair?
Start off as a harvest festival. You see.
Okay, so we go to 5. We go to 6.
What up, Jordy?
7. Okay, understood. We're gonna go this guy as a resource. We're gonna pay 2 for Yami's grocery. Blue cards at +1 attack there. Trigger enter. If you have 2 or more, nothing there. I'll trigger that one though if you want to cancel it.
It has to be a clash card for me to cancel.
Yeah, it's not gonna do anything anyway.
So you're blue. Oh, I see. You get +1.
Yeah, so swing 5 into your face, and then 2, and then 2.
That seems like a lot.
It's a lot. I don't know. And then I'm gonna check out my ramp.
Check out my ramp.
And I'm going to put this guy in. All right. Over to you.
Yeah, all right. That's not great, honestly.
What do I have? 1 open, probably? Yeah, that's right. See that ramp? Check it out. Check it out.
I'm going to tap and draw a card.
Still seems good, man.
It's interesting.
What do you got a super ability now too, right? You get all sorts of stuff.
Let me not draw yet because I need to play another resource. Don't worry about it. It's cool. It's cool.
Can't imagine.
Just wanted to check out that.
Can't imagine that changing the game.
Didn't like the card.
Before I do that, I want to do something else.
Now,
Just put that back.
What did you just do? Oh, you play a resource.
Yeah, I play a resource and then do a card.
Did you play the right resource now that you know what you were about to draw?
Check his socks, man.
Hell, I'm about to get that card in the top deck, so I better just play it as a resource.
5 aces?
I've needed 4 blacks in play for a long time.
Okay, and you've got, so you're failing, but you now have 4.
Now I have 4. Yeah,
Right,
I was gonna do that either way.
You did it.
But now,
Ryan clarifying that check out my ramp does not put the resource in engaged. So you can do
That's
something.
handy.
With
I'm uncomfortable. You've made me uncomfortable.
I'm mean streaking.
that. Not a streak counter to be seen.
No, it's not. It's not that deck.
Ah,
I guess. News to me, actually, as well. The contender has been completely blank the whole game.
Okay, let's.
You start taking out my stuff.
No.
you're making him think.
That's right. And Zach's supposed to be the Alpha Clash guy in the room. I just hold the cards.
I think that's the right call. Okay. I declare bankruptcy. I'm gonna Here Comes the Boom.
Yay!
And then I'll punch you for 6.
Take it.
You also haven't given me any of my ability.
Yeah, I've been, I'm training for the world champs, bro.
Pass you.
Okay. Draw a fateful card. Decide if I want to play a resource. Man, pay 3 to draw. I can't believe no other game has done it. I just can't believe it. I mean, we need to take that and just run with it, dude.
Pay 3, draw, pay 4 play resource.
Just all we have to do, that's it. We could do anything else. Anything else. Anything else. Any theme, anything. It's like jumping.
It is like jumping.
It's that isn't that famous book, the Start with Paying 3 to Draw?
A famous book? Pay 3 to draw?
Simon Sinek?
Start with Y?
Oh yeah.
Hilarious. That's we need to write a book. Start with pay 3 draw.
It starts with how many cards do you have in your hand?
7. So you're -2 on shocking. You're winning currently. Just don't screw
I know.
it up.
Yeah, I'd like to win forever.
Can you win this turn?
I'm looking at it. That's what I'm trying to find out. Are there anything I should know? You have little clash buffs and stuff that can maybe make that hard.
It could make it more difficult, yeah.
Are they the ones that stick around the whole game, the whole turn?
Depending on
Remember
the
that-
clash buff, yes.
You remember that weird thing?
Well, it'll be like plus X for the turn. Plus X strength or power or defense or whatever.
I'd have to play a decent amount of clash cards here
To win.
to win.
I mean, if you can do 9, that's probably the play to try.
I can't do 9.
Then that's not the play. Don't do that.
When do I open the portal? Don't we have this thing can also portal?
When your opponent plays, can you bring up somewhere into mine? I think it's any card. If I play a card.
If you play, which you have remarkably not really done for a long time. You play Here Comes the Boom?
Counterplay. Yeah. I did play Here Comes the Boom.
All right, hold on. I might need to open that portal.
In response to Boom, you could have tapped Here Comes Des Moines. And
I'm doing it.
Okay. Now, be aware. Let's say you played Shocking Revelation. I, before it resolves, can react to that play, trigger, close the portal.
Okay, that's okay. That's fine.
Just I want you to full.
I appreciate that. I do have to play Shocking Revelation here, I believe.
Eats good.
So portal's closed?
Portal's
Portal's
open.
Open. Oh. Uh-huh.
Okay, let's just play Shocking Revelation, just see what happens.
Okay. I will go ahead and close the portal in response to that happening, which resolves. And then now this resolves. So you're paying resources for it.
I'm paying 3. 4?
4.
4.
And the way the reductions work is you're mono blue, so it doesn't matter, but it reduces the pips first.
All right, 4 coming out. Look at your hand, choose a card, put it on the bottom.
Okay. We have 2 Here Comes the Boom for some
Okay.
reason. We have a 6 cost Death.
Seems good.
She's good. We have 2 red clash buffs. So it's cost 1, and I can do damage equal to the number of weapons I have, so 2.
What's the name of them?
Kill shot.
Looks good.
And if it defeats something, I get to draw a card. And then,
Okay, so you can kill something that's 2 or less.
yep. And then I have Paul helping out, 2 copies. This guy is clutch. So 1 cost, when he attacks, I can attach a weapon I control to another Alpha Hunter. So it lets me move this just
Wait.
by him attacking.
You don't have any Alpha Hunters currently?
This is an Alpha Hunter.
Is that the only one, though? She's about to go to the...
Yeah.
tank.
Technically, Paul's are both Alpha Hunters. So, like, if I attach this here, technically he could attack and attach it to something for free.
But he wouldn't resolve its damage and then
Right,
send
yeah.
it? Okay. Yeah,
But, like, if I
that's
played both of these, I could attack here for 0, attach this to this guy, and then swing with this.
Okay.
But you get the idea. So that's my hand.
So I think death probably goes. I don't know. It
that
seems
is-
like the biggest, dumbest thing.
Yeah, agreed. I think that is a good choice.
Okay.
The biggest, dumbest thing.
And then the portal is not open, so I do not draw a card.
Yeah. But then this goes away, and then this comes back.
And then I play Mean Streak Intercepting for 3. And now that trigger enter hits, so I put a streak counter on it. Look, we did it.
Hey, we
Give me a
got a
die.
streak counter. Let's go with a clear.
And then I guess I know what you have. So, but you could draw something. It'd be hard for you to draw something that would equal 18 damage. I hope. I don't know how the game works. I'm just using my my habit. 4 to you, and I'm gonna go ahead and do 1 more with Mean Streak and take 1.
Yeah. It would be impressive if I somehow did
Yeah, and this is up.
17 here.
It would be, and maybe that's just something I need to learn.
Let's put this down as a resource and think about my life. Not good. I'll go ahead and tap and draw.
Seems like a good ability. I don't know where that comes from or who designed that. That was the pre-comic design days? You don't design that anymore. There's nothing in a comic panel that gives you the ability to draw a card for the rest of the game.
Looks like a weapon system to me.
Nothing about a weapon system says I get to have all the money and cards. Because you have to kind of do it now because it becomes difficult to block all the bodies.
What bodies?
Well, if this is a body and I draw a body and I have 2 bodies, including my contender, that's 4 swings coming at you trying to do 5. So
good. I'm gonna play another heavy armor.
Great, but it doesn't have anyone to wear it.
Yeah, I'm gonna play 2 Paul helping outs.
Helpings out.
Helpings out. Then he's gonna swing at your contender, and we'll attach this here.
He's gonna swing at my contender.
He's in 0 attack.
Oh, okay.
I'm just using it to attach the thing.
Got it. Yeah.
And then I will pass to you.
Okay. So this is your blocker.
Yeah, he's a 4/6 flyer.
And you've got clash buffs that kill 2. Well, you got 2 weapons now, so it does 2 damage.
It does 3 damage currently. I have 3 weapons.
That would kill this guy.
I would kill that guy. Oh yeah, I take 1 from the power armor. Oh no. I'm charging down.
Okay.
Watch out.
Let's draw a card.
So I got here too late, but you can imagine with 2 of these guys out and 2 power armors, it could get uncomfortable really quickly.
I can see that.
Yeah, I can do a lot of damage. I didn't have any bodies. You saw my hand. 2 booms, 2 clash buffs, and 2 of this Paul.
2 Paul.
Not
2 Paul, 2 Furious.
2 Paul, that's right.
And you've got 1 money only.
1 red standing. It's all about family.
Okay. Okay.
That's a line, right? And Too Fast, Too Furious. It's all about family.
I may need to pull a wildcat move here.
Oh.
I mean, you could just kill me, I'm sure.
No, I can't. I mean, I can't because you've got 1 blocker for the thing, and then you've got 2 things in your hand that you can pay 1. You can do 1 of those. So that's 2 things taken care of. I would have to play 2 more things. And the 3rd thing that is not going to be killed by the Clash buff or the Flying Butler would have to be doing 3 damage with the buff. So it would have to be a 2 strength thing. Yeah. I can't play both of these cards. I'm going to play 1 of them. Ergo.
You can't do it.
Well, there's a piece of me that says play the big guy as a resource because he's pretty worthless right now. Because you're doing, what, 4? Is that accurate?
This is currently 4, yeah.
And you can take 6. I don't know. That's doing something. But then we get another turn out of you, which is not good.
It's dangerous.
That's
you're still at 17. He has intercept too, right?
But you can just off him with the clash buff.
There has to be a clash for me to play it. And if you intercept and then I clash buff to get rid of him, now the attack fizzles.
Oh.
Because I'm not attacking your contender anymore. I'm attacking the thing you blocked with. So you can soak 1 attack as long as you don't attack me. But if you attack me, I can use the floating resource and take care of him immediately.
So this is where you should be good at this game.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, the Flying Butler, I feel like, is the perfect name for like a pub. Like, that could be a legit pub.
This game, man. See, because I've got 2 to draw a card here, which I am want to do.
Yeah, that's really good.
But if I do that, I can't play the 7 cost. But what I could do is I could play the 7 cost, which we have in hand. Okay, as my resource for the turn. Then we spend 2, draw a card. If it's a 3 cost or less, that has at least 2 attack. The game is over.
You're in good shape.
Game is over.
I don't hate it.
Because otherwise we play Mean Streak big.
I do think one of your problems is I'm going to have flight. So if you give me turns, you're not going to be able to stop the damage. that I
intercepts off flight, isn't it?
Yeah, you get one.
I get one. It just feels like the wrong time to sit around. Discarding a card for you doesn't matter.
This is where I watched Hamilton win the Pro Tour in December, and I watched his whole top 8. We played the same deck.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many moments I was watching him where in this situation, he did the exact opposite of what I thought you should do.
Yeah.
And then eventually won the game, like 8 turns later.
Does he just always just play value?
The problem is, a lot of the times I can understand the value math. Then he'll get into a moment, and he'll consider the 2% thing that could kill him, that the opponent definitely has in their hand that you never thought of.
Dang it.
And then take that line instead, and you're like, I would have lost there.
If he and Zorn were in the same room, I think the universe would split apart.
What's the moment where the AI robots start working on
Singularity?
Singularity? It's like the singularity of card games.
Mm-hmm.
That would be
those,
fascinating.
Those two engage with each other.
Can you work towards that? Can you like?
Can we make this happen?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to do the thing that I think is wrong then. Because every time Hamilton does stuff, I think it's wrong and he wins. So I'm going to play the big thing.
Your logic checks out.
Then I'm going to
logical proof.
Pay to put a streak counter here to draw a card.
And does that specifically go on this guy?
What's the name of that one?
It's anything in the Clash. What?
What's the name of that streak? Mean streak?
That's mean streak intercepting.
You could, if your plan is to play the other card anyway, you could put the streak count on the other thing. So you get the card advantage from multiple things. Because this is just one per card that goes away, right?
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and play this one.
Yeah.
And then put one on each. That's kind of cool.
That way, you're spreading the joy.
Enter. Put a streak counter on this card. You going to cancel it?
No. So he gets 2, actually.
You're not going to?
Well, then in that case, it doesn't really matter. Because he gets a streak counter either way.
All right, hold on, let me see what this all says.
Yeah.
Okay. Take it, you may do it once per turn if they're from more streak counters. Oh, wow. Okay.
So I actually think not doing that first makes sense given the card that's in your hand. Because he gets a streak counter anyway.
Yeah, but you're going to cancel it. In my head, you're going to cancel it. Why wouldn't you cancel it?
Oh.
The enter effect.
Yeah, it would.
Because we're in Des Moines.
We are somewhere in Des Moines.
Somewhere. Not anywhere with corn dogs. You won't be anywhere with corn dogs.
No. Devastating.
Okay.
I'm just, everywhere I go, I'm going to say, do you have any of Frank's corn dogs?
Next up.
A joke so good, Ops laughed in the other room. It was just like perfect timing. I stopped and then they were chuckling.
Next up, I think I killed a butler.
This one?
That's too scary that you can just move all that stuff around.
Uh-huh. I mean,
Or just wait.
if you attack here, I block here, kill it, and use my Clash buff, kill the other one.
You can use it on this one, even though it's not in the Clash?
Yeah. Because it
Why?
says,
You like that?
deal X damage to target attacking. Oh, no, I can't. It has to be attacking or obstructing. I'm used to better Clash buffs.
I got you, Ryan. I'll switch that over.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I couldn't.
So attacking here it seems maybe wrong, but we know you have here comes the boom, right?
We do.
So you boom, this guy goes away anyway. These guys go away.
I think what I actually do is swing here for 4, attach this here, then boom, then swing here because he's now +4.
Yeah. Is there anything that I should be doing that's going to be better than what I'm doing?
I think it's better to get rid of him now
Yeah.
because I have boom, and if I play boom, I can keep both of these on the board and do their damage.
Yeah, let's get him.
Yeah. So then I will go ahead and Clash buff and do 3 to your attacking guy.
Which gives me another chance because I now draw
And I also draw.
for mean streak.
Yep.
What do we got?
That's like one of those, maybe the right call is not getting rid of your thing so you draw a card. Because you could win on board if I gave you the wrong card just then.
Yes. But this would be right if I could play it, but it is 1 cost too much. But I could send a T-Bone and Mean Streak Clash card to Oblivion to play it for free. But I cannot do that.
What is that card?
Ergo, pass? Is that right? Is that the end of it? Or do I kill this one again with this? Intercepting isn't going to matter because you can just boom
I guess,
it.
why was this the right play?
I don't know. Dude.
Because let's actually think this through. Because if you attack again, I can block here. and you didn't actually, if you can get rid of him, it was the right call. But I actually don't think it's the right call at all.
I know you just kill me.
Because you know I have the Clash buff, and you know I can block. So unless you have some, I guess you could bait me into not doing it, thinking you are going to. Like, let's say, here's really what it is. If you attack here, and I Clash buff, and you attack again, and I block, now I don't have any blockers.
Mm-hmm. And then I go, ha!
So if you could play something
Play a 3 cost.
at
here.
3 cost that could kill me, saving him is the wrong call. So I actually don't know that I block. But I kind of have to make a gut call at that point, whether or not I think you're
Right,
baiting
it's a
me.
3 cost. Or
Yeah.
not. It's not. Let's just set it
So,
there.
you can play safe.
Set it there. Just tell me show me your armor. Show me it, because you attach the suit, and then I take 8. If you boom it,
If I swing with
and then
both.
maybe some more.
Yeah.
Drew, so you can draw with the second one also. With the one who drew. I don't know what that means.
Couldn't tell you.
They both drew.
All right, mine.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can do anything here.
Because that's the other thing with this mean streak, this big mean streak, is that I don't think I have a way to win. I use all my resources. I swing. I can make you discard a card, which doesn't matter, or draw myself 1. And then you boom him anyway, he's 5. So
Yeah.
and it doesn't feel that good.
Yeah, that gave you a way to win that turn,
It did.
which I think is
I missed it.
a good thing to be
I was
doing.
excited about it.
Let's not play a resource. We're at that stage of the game.
Oh, right. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, I may as well go ahead and do this again.
Oh, pay 2 draw.
Once per turn, pay 2 draw. That's
Yeah,
what
2 of
Ryan's
them.
saying.
There you
Yeah,
go.
It makes total sense.
Yeah.
That gives me another 1 cost way to win, which of course doesn't matter.
I will draw a card, like you do.
Yeah, you got so many cards. This deck's this not supposed to work. You're supposed to have none cards. I'm supposed to lock you out.
It's not what's happened. I'm gonna play Denver and get rid of your Clash Ground. So Alpha
it's all turning over.
Alpha Hunter
It's
cards
all happened.
get +1 attack. And then enter, I draw 2, and then I discard 1. Oh god.
So many cards.
It is so many cards.
Call it alpha cards. New name.
What in the world?
Got the SEO on that one.
Alpha cards.
Mm-hmm.
2 butlers, though. 2 butlers, 2 suits. I mean, it's crazy. Those are some scary butlers. 2
butlers,
Pauls.
2 suits.
2 Paul, 2 Furious.
Lord Almighty.
Have you paid any money yet? Just 1 for Denver?
1 for Denver. Yeah. But
Paul Denver.
as we've always said,
Famous relative of John Denver, if you didn't know. Thank God I'm country boy. Thank God I'm serving weapons.
okay. Let's
Thank God I'm an arms dealer.
swing you with flight for 4.
What do I do with that? Block it?
You can intercept it.
I'm
yeah, for
intercepting that.
sure. Yeah, definitely.
I know you get to draw a card.
Ha! This
And
would have won me the game.
when I attack, we'll attach here. Then
Oh no, it wouldn't. This card's worthless. Why is
I don't know, man.
Did you pay to attach that?
It attaches when.
Oh right, you butlered.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, I'll do this. I'll put that second streak on this one from the draw. Pay 2 draw. Put a streak on a thing. This one's now got 2.
Okay.
Watch out. That's why I blocked with the 1 with 1.
Okay. I will go ahead and here comes the boom.
Okay. Draw again. Look at Mean Streak go. Is that once per turn? No.
I don't think so.
Yeah, forever.
Anything like
Terrible.
The Death Contender is once per turn because she exhausts to do it. Anything that is just infinite like that is quite powerful. Okay.
We're taking this out of the deck.
I'm going to play 1 cost Colonel Edwards, Mastermind. He's exclusive, so I can only have 1 in play. He has a trigger enter, which can't do anything, so you don't need to worry about it.
Okay, thank you.
Earth Clash cards I control, which is all my cards. Can't take non-clash damage that if they have a weapon attached.
Okay, so I can't burn them. Okay. Got it.
Then I will attack with this Paul for 4. And when I do, I'll move this weapon to Colonel Edwards. So I'm attacking you for 4.
Yes. You have succeeded in your attack.
Actually, it's 5 because of Denver.
Okay, done.
You're at 12.
Mm-hmm.
So 4, 5, 6. Not quite. I will
Swing.
pass.
Okay. Stand some resources up. Draw a card. Play a resource. Sure. I mean, this card is absolutely worthless for me right now.
What is it?
Streak Storm. If I have 3 or more streak counters, draw a card.
Oh,
I
you
have
would have.
5 or more, -1/-1 to all your stuff. 7 or more, all clash cards I don't control get -1/-1, and I draw a card. Do all those stack?
Yeah.
Nice.
Also, the pluses and minuses are the only thing that stick throughout the turn. That was the difference. So damage always goes away at the start of a clash, and plus and minus effects are turn-based, basically.
Okay. Okay. So
Definitely recommend winning on this turn.
yes. So you're gonna block. You can block with that. You can block.
I have 1 blocker and I have 1 red showing. And I'll give you a spoiler of what it does.
You have 4, and I've lost my buff. Okay. How do we do it? We do
It's a puzzler.
3, and then we do that. 6. And how much research do I have? I have 9. Okay. All right. First step. Okay. So the only thing I can do is, well, we can try to clean up. We can see if that would do anything. Can I do 6 damage to anything? I've got a 5. I don't have the Clash Ground.
This is where Shocking Revelation is. Stonks.
Yes, that would be awesome. It would be sick. How many cards do you have in your hand? 6, 8?
4.
Okay. Okay. Dead card. Got it. Anything else here? I'm not at 10 yet. That doesn't matter. That would be good if I was at 10. I can go to... Well, I mean...
You can get to under 10.
I can, swing into your Flying Man?
Into this Paul specifically and take 4.
Swing into this Paul.
And then all your stuff has +1.
And you can't block a trigger attack, just a trigger enter.
Right. No, it's not even trigger enter, it's trigger play. There are cards that enter in fun ways, like all the discarded stuff, or it's like, if you know, anyways, you have to be playing the Clash card specifically to be able to cancel it.
Okay. All right. Let's think about this.
He's puzzling.
We're puzzling. If mean streak swings here, that means 3 damage is now on the table. That means if I play 2 3 damage things, you're dead.
Well, if mean streak swings here,
You would have to block here, right?
I could just take 1.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Then 3 damage to kill.
Oh, I see.
So then I do a 3, I swing, you block. A 3, I swing, you still have the Clash buff. And then a 3, I swing. So these are all 3 damage
Then you win.
cards. I win.
Yeah. Easy peasy.
What are the chances of that, do you think?
Low,
Okay.
but not impossible.
Not impossible.
My decision tree doesn't change based on whether or not it's true.
You still take the 1 and you just move on.
I think I would have to take 1.
And I'm at 11, a devastatingly close to 10 number.
Yeah.
So we're trying to have it all here.
That is probably the worst decision I can make if you attack with mean streak would be blocking here, because it would enable your ability, and now I have no blockers.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping you would do.
which is just like
I should have talked that out.
yeah. That is one of the play to your outs when you're in a corner situation in a tournament. Like, give your opponent the chance to make a mistake.
That's right.
Sometimes that is the only line you've got.
Okay, and then sometimes, how much would the Clash buff do right now?
3.
Because of 3 weapons?
Mhm.
But I thought it was 1+ weapons. It's only
I
number
think
of
it's
weapons?
per weapon. It says deal X damage to target attacking or obstructing Clash card, where X equals the amount of weapons you control.
And you control 3 currently.
I control 3 currently.
Okay. And it just doesn't matter because like you're just gonna move your little equipment butler shuffle with 2 suits, And
Well, so right now, just so you're aware, he would swing for 6. Then he would swing for 5. And I would move, when he attacks, I'd move this one to here. And then he would
but he wouldn't actually swing for 5 because he'd move the equipment first.
No. So swing for 6. Then swing for 5 because he has his weapon.
And move that one, yeah.
Then swing for 5, move this weapon back here.
Can he attach it for free? That's what he does.
When he attacks, he can attach a weapon for free.
It can be in the accessory zone.
The accessory or attached to something already. Thematically, he's delivering weapons. You see,
I get it. Yeah,
he's like a helpful. So he's delivering this armor suit.
I see that.
He's kind of like a souped up Alfred. I just keep referencing.
There's no way.
He's not Alfred. He actually gets in there.
And there's no framework way the game gives you to delete an accessory. It has to be from a card.
That's right. Yeah, there's not like pay for, get rid of an item or
Okay,
something.
got it. Just looking at all the different options here.
Yeah, no, I think it's good. It's
You
fun.
know what
It's
I'm
fun
saying?
watching you work through like the possibilities here. But I guess my question would be, if you had anything with intercept, then you have, at least with what's on the board currently, you have an ability to not lose.
Yes. With intercept.
But, not losing is not winning either.
And do I want to take 4 damage to remove a body when you can play a body? It's just crazy. There's just no way. I mean, because then I'll be tapped. It's
not good. It's not good. I definitely thought I was going to lose.
Yeah. I feel like the deck let me down.
I feel like I'm less going to lose now.
You're going to win.
I feel good, yeah.
You're absolutely going to win.
Do you have any way to draw cards?
That's what I'm looking for. This Rube Goldberg machine of card draw. Street counters, defeat, but I can't really defeat this guy because he's too fast. I mean...
Is he too fast?
I could draw a card, but I'd have 1 money left.
That's not good.
That's not enough. No. Okay, let's see if there's another way.
Devastating. You just need 4, Just a cash 4.
Can I defeat... You can block for this stuff?
As long as you don't have flying.
Don't have flying.
Yeah. If you can get rid of him, that would be very good. That's another line.
But you're going to block. You're going to block with a thing. Oh, I need 1 more resource. I can't do it. Okay, therefore, we are going to do this. We're going to play this, and then we're going to play that.
I bet that top card over there is Shocking Revelation, too.
Is there anything you can do with that weird Genesis card from earlier? He usually has some stuff where he can play
This?
research. Yeah.
From the thing? Nah, he
That's
just
some of
becomes a
the
resource.
Genesis contender is what lets him
it's
play
the contender does it?
Yeah.
I thought some of his other cards had it too.
I think one of his cards does, but his character ability is basically you can play 1 card a turn from your resource.
Got it.
I feel like if I had 1 more resource, I would be real good. You
didn't quite ramp enough.
Didn't ramp. Could have
Just wanna
ramped
spot
harder,
him
I
one, Zach?
guess. Could have ramped.
Spot him 1. Could you win the game this turn if you have 1 more?
I think maybe. I don't really know. Let's play a little mean streak.
What's his subtitle?
Speed and precision. And then I'll swing at your contender
For 5.
for the game. It gets streak counter on it.
And he gets +1 defense for each street counter.
Yeah, and then there was another reason that this was doing 6 damage. Do we remember what that was? Oh, because he was supposed to be on the... This only works if I do that. Yeah, we'll do that. Sure.
He gets +1 from his ability. Oh, you don't have that on yet.
I don't have it on yet, so I can take 4.
Why do you need to do 6? Oh, to get rid of this?
So that if you block it, you don't just stuff me.
I'm going to have to block it.
It's a body, and so it's 1 body less. And so maybe you don't have anything in your hand that you can play that is a Clash card. But I take 4 free damage, so let's do that. We'll swing at that guy.
Okay, I'll let you take the damage.
And then we'll play this.
So then I'll block here.
And then I'll swing at that, and I've got super speed, so I do 6 and you do 0, which is cool. Theoretically.
And you've spent 6.
Yeah.
I see. So if you can play a 4-cost here, you'd be in the money.
Yes. And then I'll
4-cost
do
Genesis, eh?
2 for Mr. Mean Streak.
Okay. Hey, this is not bad.
Can only do 1, but he can obstruct, and then I'll use this ability to throw this here. I guess get a draw out of the deal if I want to use this thing. Sit on that one. Sit.
Draw a card.
But see, this is bad to be at 8 because that's double suit. Win the game. You just pay 3 and then you win. I feel like that's probably.
I mean, but you can block one of them.
I can't intercept though.
Oh, he doesn't have intercept.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, you got 99 problems.
All right, so you win. There, and that was the 4-cost that maybe would have changed something.
This is Mean Streak, blink of an eye.
Because I play that in this slot, but then I think you kill it with a Clash buff. And then I drew another one of these guys. Complete waste of time.
Let's see. Let's just take a peek. Oh, I knew it. I can feel it.
Always there. Right there.
So I think if you, funnily enough, if you'd had that shotgun in your hand instead, I think you just destroy me. Because you clear my board, and I have a body to put down. So I swing once, and then you just roll me over.
Maybe. I mean, if I play this, I can only play one. I play like this Mean Streak, I think.
Well, the main thing is getting these off the board.
Mm-hmm.
I can play like a body and pay 3 to attach one. I get one thing. Then I lose to whatever you.
That seems good. You seem like you got both your suits out. Is nice.
Two suits and 2 paws. I think
And
that's
the sneak attack. I think you did it great.
That is the. This is like the nucleus of the deck. I've played against the Moxy's heavy power armor before, where on one turn this will get used like 2 or 3 times, and if you do that twice, like even just this plus one other person, and it's like if the power armor's on, you swing for 6, move it, swing for 6, move it, swing for 6.
That's kind of what those decks are supposed to do, right? Those accessory decks.
Yeah,
Because that's like crazy value.
it is crazy value.
Are people running removal for accessories, or are we just dealing with it?
Most people are, so they updated along with the bounties and the whatever you call them, the somewhere in cards. It's basically you play 2 matches now. You go first once, and you can pre-sideboard based on their contender. So you get 60 cards, and so a lot of times what will happen is you will have 3 or 4 item removal cards, and if you're playing a contender that you expect to be running items, you'll put those in.
Nice.
And then you can imagine if in the middle of that game you'd blown up one of those power armors, my turns get a lot less good.
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah.
And so is that what these splashes are?
I don't know. I think it was just a white sideboard.
Target accessory to blue.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Yeah, so probably if you knew what you were doing, you would sub out 10 of the cards for the 10 white card splash to specifically have that. And
That's Moxy.
I don't know. So hypothetically, it's why like my deck shouldn't be relying on having 2 out at the same time to win, because you're probably going to get rid of at least 1. And it's kind of like I'm trying to keep playing them.
Is there 4 in the deck? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, that's you got a shot, and you're drawing so many cards. Very troubling.
Yeah.
Anything else, Zach? Alpha Clash, 2:00.
That's it, man. If you haven't checked out the podcast episode of The Ridge, do so. If you haven't checked out the comic books, I highly recommend it. And if you're curious about the game, definitely check it out. I think they've got PvE coming, and they've got a new entry product seemingly in the works. So it'll be a good time to get in the game, especially with the comics coming later this year.
Books, yeah.
Look at those panels.
You can really, I mean, it's just kind of cool. They're going all in on being able to get completely into the universe, which is nice.
Yeah.
You don't see that on a big IP thing, and even then you don't really see it that much because who gets into Star Wars anymore? But Andor, I guess is.
I think it's one of a lot of games we've played have even Sorcery. It's intentionally not fleshing out the story, and it's the opposite for Alpha Clash, which is it was the story before it was a TCG.
Yeah,
and now they're just really doing what they wanted to do from the whole time. It's like we're going to tell the story, and from that is going to flow the game.
Yeah, see, a lot of them find themselves in the middle, which I think is probably the worst place to be. Like Fab is in the middle, where it's like there's some kind of lore blogs sometimes, but it's like I don't know, is anybody really?
Yeah, but they're not.
What this is?
They take it serious, but it's not the same. Like this is a true. They're
publishing,
putting a story out.
They got a novel, for goodness sakes.
Yeah.
That's a real story.
that is
like
a genuine.
all the LCGs, and you've got it's like L5OR is like, okay, well here's a story that we wrote based on some tournament results, kind of.
Yeah.
SoulForge was like, well, here's also a story.
Yeah,
But it's not a story.
not the same.
It's a
Yeah.
capital S story.
Well, and I think it's just it's sort of like the tournaments, right? Where, in my mind, as an example, Fab prioritizes the competitiveness of the tournaments. So the whole game is designed around lowering variance, consistent, and it's about people that can consistently perform at a high level and know the entire meta front to back and not be surprised by anything. Whereas like they are trying to prioritize on that side fun, and so it's like we're going to change the game so much every time, every like major season. You can't even master it at that level. You can be very good, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it's like you can't just know like chess. You can't just know all the moves. And so you remove that. So that's very friendly to new players. But similarly with the story, it's like the story is first. We're going to tell the story, and from that, cards are going to come out instead of the other way around.
Yeah, which is great. Love it. Thanks, y'all. Thanks for being here. We'll see you next time. Have fun. If anyone's going to Des Moines, have a good tournament.
I'll see you there.